Hello and welcome to my review of the Necrons Chronomancer. At present, it being March 2021, the only way of getting hold of this Chronomancer is via the £95 Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team Pariah Nexus box set right there. I have a very strong feeling that this model will be released separately and may even be released in May. Games Workshop have already announced that the flayed ones and heavy intercessors will be released separately in May, and I have a strong feeling that both the heavy intercessor captain and the Chronomancer will be released alongside them, even though they haven't made that official. When he is released, I predict that he will set you back £21, so it's going to be the same price as the Psychomancer. We're going to have a detailed look at the model as always. We'll have a look at the spare parts, of which there are some, and then we'll go through the size comparisons and finally into his rules. So this is the model, tallest model in the set. He's taller than all of the other Primaris models. Really cool. I love all the kind of, I want to say mechanicum, like mechadendrite kind of tendrils that he's got. He wasn't too difficult to put together. There's this extra coil tail thing here, and you've got to make sure that it kind of wraps around this coil. It's got these long scarf type metal appendages. He's got these cubes, which are awesome. You've got a different choice of cubes and orbs. You've got a different choice of the staff as well. Completely different staff. If we just turn them around, that's the rear. There is gaps there, and they are just part of the design. Bit odd, but there we go. There's gaps there and gaps there. Can't really file them together or anything. That is just part of the design. He's got his spine exposed, and yeah, the staff has got 3 prongs on it. Then he's got a head with a long chin, like all of the other Cryptex. But really cool looking model. I'm not sure whether this is my favourite or the Psychomancer, but there we are. Okay, so spare parts then. Speaking of which, here we go. You get 2 different heads. So this one here with something on his chin, and then this one, another long head. When I get my second one in the Hachette Partworks Imperium subscription, I will be obviously giving him a different head and a different staff, and him holding the cube. Look, you've got a different arm here. That's just a bit of flash, don't worry about that. And then this is the different staff. It's just a one-piece staff rather than the other one with the orb and the extra prong that you have to attach. So yeah, that's the other stuff. So it's up to you which one you can equip him with. Pretty nice, I'd say, for spare parts. So size comparisons then, and let's kick it off with the models in the box. Then I'll show you some comparisons with the other Cryptex. So firstly, him next to the flayed ones. Again, an odd choice of having him next to these. These are very kind of fragile models, and they're kind of short compared to the Chronomancer. He towers above them. Speaking of towering above models, let's just show you the HQ choice for the Space Marines. Here's the captain, towers above the captain. The captain is a lot more chunky. And then heavy intercessor, similar height to the captain as well. But yeah, tallest, you know, I say imposing model of the box set. Okay, there are currently 4 Cryptex in existence. I think there is another version of the Plasmancer coming out a little bit later on. I think it's like a shop exclusive or something, but it's not kind of like part of the official release or in the codex. So these are the other 3. You have the very first one, you know, the Technomancer. He was originally called the Cryptek, but then Games Workshop have brought out the other 3. So you've got the Technomancer there, you've got the Psychomancer, and then you've got the one included in the Indomitus box, the Plasmancer. They all do different things. I mean, they are all HQ choices as well, so you can opt to pick them over you know, your lords or overlords. And there's the Chronomancer. The tallest is still the Psychomancer, just a little bit taller than the Plasmancer, because that Plasmancer staff is long, but it is on a piece of scenery, which makes the Psychomancer the Cryptek with the longest staff there, and the Technomancer with the shortest. In terms of height of the models though, they're pretty similar. I would probably put them something like that, with the Psychomancer being the tallest, Chronomancer, Plasmancer, and then the Cryptek. The reason why I put the Cryptek so low, even though he's clearly taller than the Plasmancer there, is just because he's leaping off by the Chronotrigger control node, you know, which sort of, yeah, but he's a bit more chunkier than the Plasmancer, and actually probably more than the others, really. But that's how the Chronomancer stands next to all of the other Crypteks available in your Necron force. And of course, the final size comparison that I like to utilise is with Slight Marbow, a normal Space Marine, and a Primaris Intercessor. So as you can see, Chronomancer is going to dwarf a lot of the Primaris, you know, normal troops, and of course, yeah, particularly Space Marines as well. Necrons, I do feel like they have quite a lot of tall units, especially when you look at like the Doomstalker and things, and they have a fair bit of presence with these vertically imposing minis. So in the final part of this review, I will be taking a look at all of the Chronomancer's rules. So you find him in the HQ section. He is a power points cost of a 4 and a points cost of 80 points. Super, how does that compare to the others? Well, all of the other Crypteks are the same power points cost. The Plasmancer and Psychomancer are both 10 points cheaper. The Technomancer is either the same with the Chronotrigger cloak or more points with the Chronotrigger control node. What do you get for these points then? Well, his stat line reads, he's a movement of 8 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill are both 3+, strength and toughness are both 4, 4 wounds, 1 attack, leadership 10, and a save of 4+. How does that stat line compare to the others? Well, it means that he is the fastest Cryptek. However, if you do equip the Technomancer with the Chronotrigger cloak, the bearer then has a move characteristic of 10 inches, so a little bit quicker, and has the fly keyword. A Chronomancer is equipped with an Aeon Stave, or Eon Stave, and Chronotendrils. The Aeon Stave can be replaced with one Entropic Lance. I think he's actually got an Aeon Stave there. I think the Entropic Lance is similar to Illuminor Xeras's weapon, and I think that's the other one. But in game terms, it doesn't really make a difference. You can just say that he's equipped with either or. It also doesn't cost any extra points or anything to have one or the other. Now, what do these weapons do? Well, the Aeon Stave, which he's equipped with to begin with, that has 2 profiles, a shooting attack and a melee. So for shooting, it's a range of 18 inches, assault D3, strength 5, AP -2, and a damage of 1, and it's blast. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, invulnerable saving throws cannot be taken against that attack. That is very nice. I mean, I know it's only strength 5 and it's only AP -2, but it's still quite cool. The melee profile is a strength of the user, which is only 4, AP -2 and damage 1. Again, each time an attack is made with the weapon, invulnerable saves cannot be taken. It's better off shooting with that, because he's only going to be getting 1 attack anyway. And the shooting, statistically, you're going to have 2 or more shots with it, and it is a better strength. Now, the Entropic Lance, again, has 2 weapon profiles, a shooting and a melee. The shooting profile is range 18 inch. It's only assault 1, but it is strength 8, AP -3, and a damage of D3 +3. That's better, you know. Yes, it only has 1 shot, but much better strength, much better AP. However, you know, your enemy can take an invulnerable save. The melee is the strength of the user, which is only 4, AP -3, and a damage of 3. So again, better off shooting with this Chronomancer. Effective range is 26 inches because their type is both assault. The Chronotendrils are a melee weapon. The strength of the user, AP is 0, and the damage is only 1, but each time the bearer fights, it makes 3 additional attacks with this weapon. So that's nice. So if you're using the Chronotendrils, you're getting 3 additional attacks. Abilities: Living Metal Command Protocols, Dynastic or Dynastic Advisors. If your army is battle-forged, then for each Cryptek unit, excluding dynastic agents, included in a detachment that also contains at least one noble unit, a second Cryptek unit, excluding dynastic agent units, can be included in that detachment without taking up an additional battlefield role slot. So what we're saying is, if it's battle-forged, then every Cryptek, so long as you've got a noble, so that would include your Overlord, your Lord, your Catacomb Command Barge, but it wouldn't include your Lockhurst Lord or your Skorpek Lord, or any of the other agents such as Luminor Zeras, which is a bit of a shame, then you can just keep taking them and they don't keep adding to the HQ slot. Time Splitter Mantle. This model has a 4+ invulnerable save. So technically, he's the most survivable out of all of them, with that 4+ invulnerable. And then Chronometron. God, that's a difficult one. In your command phase, you can select one friendly dynasty unit within 9 inches of this model. Until the start of your next command phase, you can re-roll charge rolls made for that unit, and models in that unit have a 5+ invulnerable save. Now this is where it gets juicy. For the small cost of 80 points, I think he's fantastic. Yes, he's not going to win a duel with Uriel Ventress, but if you keep him 18 inches away, blast him with his stave, whichever one you want to use, and keep a unit within 9 inches of him, they're going to be able to re-roll the charge rolls and they're getting a 5+ invulnerable save. But that's until the start of your next phase. So he's going to be great with, obviously the flayed ones or other close combat troops such as Lich Guard, Crypto Thralls, even Necron Warriors and Immortals. Skorpek Destroyers too, giving them invulnerable saves, so they've got 3+ normal and 5+ invulnerable. But not your Treyarch Praetorians, because they are dynastic agents. They're not, they don't have their dynasty keyword. So just bear that in mind. And Lich Guard, they don't need that 5+ anyway. It'd be nice to reroll the charge rolls, but still, they get their 4+ if they've got the dispersion shield. But, if you give them the war scythes, again, they're getting 5+ invulnerables. So really, for this guy to make the best use you possibly can of him, it's worth looking at the other units and which units you want near him to re-roll those charge rolls and to get the 5+ invulnerable. Other than that, he can just blast away with either a Strength 8 Assault 1 weapon or a Strength 5 Assault D3 weapon, and he's still got that 4+ invulnerable. What do you guys think of the Chronomancer, the final Cryptek in my collection? As I say, you won't have to wait too long before he becomes available, so you can add him to your Necron force. Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Silent King protects.